We're back and we're in person for another US Open roundup. So much has been happening. Coco Gauff being the big story. The reigning champion is out. Medvedev and Zverev are cruising through the draw. We have the Olympic champion Qinwen Zheng. She's looking calm, and it is the resurgence of Grigor Dimitrov.
That's right, it was an impactful day 7 at the US Open, and the big story on everybody's lips is Coco Gauff, the reigning champion of the US Open, goes out, but in a fashion we don't like to see. 19 double faults, let me repeat that, 19 double faults from Coco Gauff, and we heard Novak Djokovic talking about how hard it is if you're playing with a bad serve to go through this tournament. Well, Coco Gauff, that's got to be one of the worst serving performances I've ever seen from Coco Gauff on a tennis court. And you just don't deserve to go through if you serve that many double faults. I'm surprised she even made it as close as it was. And we had scenes like this, which I'm going to bring up on the screen right now, where there were kids in the crowd were coming down to get balls signed because they could see she was about to serve. That's how bad she was serving. They assumed she was going to lose her serve and lose the match. That is crazy. They all got sent back to the stands again.
Oh, there was waiting down
they
there.
all came down while she was about to serve. How crazy is that?
Well, they're probably just chancing it. I don't know if you can read too much into that. The main thing you can look at here is Coco Gauff did not turn up. It was a really poor serving performance. Is it a little bit of tiredness from her? I mean, she was asked about the loss to Navarro. Let's see what she said. We'll bring that up. She was like, I guess for me, yeah, it's not the summer that I want. I feel like there's 70 other players in the draw that would love to have the summer that I have had, even though it's been my least probably done well this time of year. I don't know what that means. So many people want to be in the fourth round. So many people want to make the Olympics. So many people want to be the flag bearer. It's perspective. Obviously, because I'm wanting to reach a different level, it is disappointing, but I'm not going to beat myself up and be like, this was so bad. Yeah, I expect better, but at the end of the day, it happened, and I know it can turn around. We can't read too much into this result because I think Emma Navarro is a really good player.
Brilliant.
She's someone you're going to see going deep in tournaments for sure. How old is Emma Navarro now?
Emma Navarro is 23 years old.
So she's not going anywhere, and she's only going to get better, you'd think. Not got that much experience, not as much experience as the younger Coco Gauff, which is crazy to suggest. And I think Coco Gauff will still be okay as well. I think she just had a bad day in the office against a good opponent, and that can happen sometimes. She double faulted 19 times today. She needs to improve that drastically. She is nearly facing the net at contact. Her toes on the left foot are facing the net at contact. What's this? Just studying the
Somebody
else
just put out her serve.
The body needs to stay extra sideways on a kick serve to facilitate a more versatile swing. For the brush down to produce topspin, rather her racket pulls too forward and down. Listen, I'm no serving master myself. I don't think I can give so much technical advice as what this guy has. However, statistically, it wasn't good, and maybe Novak Djokovic has been rubbing off on her.
It just was surprising because I have her as one of the best servers on the female tour. Like when the serve goes in, it is deadly, but Emma Navarro, we can't take it away from her. She did what she had to do. She had the whole crowd against her, essentially, because they're all massive Coco Gauff fans, obviously, in the US. There would have been some people supporting Navarro, but the way that she played, it was brilliant. She's such a good ball striker, like from both wings, and under pressure shots, she had a couple of like wobbly moments, but she's able to hit winners and clean winners of that after very long rallies. I think there was a 27-shot rally she was hitting winners off. Brilliant player, and I'm really excited to see, could she be the next big American on tour? Could she get to the heights Coco Gauff has got to at the moment, which is, I think, number 2 high.
Yep.
I think she's a shoo-in for top 10 and could even reach as high as top 5 if she continues with this amazing form that she's been having. Something else about this match which has been riling people up a little bit, the coaches seem to be getting a little bit too much coverage at this US Open, and Brad Gilbert was on air, spinning the Gauff loss while she's in the press conference room. It's just too cringe for me to watch, to be honest, says Stephanie Miles. And I do think that it is a bit strange that you've got like the coach of somebody who's just lost and they're on the coverage of the programme. No, we've got Eubanks on there who's just played the tournament. Now we've got the coach of a player who seems to be getting a lot of limelight. I don't know if it sits too well with me. I think keep them in the background. We shouldn't have to be hearing from the players' coaches as much. What do you reckon?
Doesn't bother me. Doesn't bother me at all. I don't know why people are so animated. I mean, I'm assuming he was there in the box.
Yeah, he was.
Cheering Coco Gauff on. Then he did some media duties afterwards. I think people are always calling for an insight in what's happening in not just tennis, but in a lot of sports. And this provides another perspective. If Coco Gauff is okay with it, that's the only person who should be bothered or who should be concerned about it.
Well, she'd have known about it, though, because she would have been...
As long as Brad's consulted her and he's doing it on that regard, then I see nothing wrong with it. And I think from a viewer's perspective, people would want to know what Brad has to say.
Definitely,
because he was there and it's raw and it's straight to your TV screen. So, yeah, I have no problems.
Is it becoming a little bit more like the umpires are becoming celebrities, the coaches are bigger celebrities? I feel like there's
you're trying to create a narrative. I think it's not that bad at all.
There's a lot of players who just want to get in the limelight, and they're sort of riding off other people's fame a little bit. I feel Coco Gauff's such a big star. I think she needs to have a lot of stuff like kept behind closed doors. Maybe come out after there's been a little bit of time just to discuss the match with Coco first and then go on TV. Fair enough. Maybe give it like a few hours. Yeah. This was literally instant. So that was why I was a bit shocked that he was on TV straight away. But it is disappointing for Coco Gauff. She'll be back stronger. She's only 20 years old. I mean, it's just another part of the amazing journey that... And I was thinking, whilst watching the match last night, Coco Gauff is sort of like the daughter of America or of like tennis fans. Like when you watch someone grow, they sort of become like a daughter. And I think that that's the way that everyone sees Coco Gauff in America. They've seen her from like being a child there on court, and now she's growing into this young woman. That they want the best for her. They are invested fully in the Coco Gauff story, and they want to see her do well. And I can understand it. This is disappointing for them, but let me be assured, she'll be back stronger. Maybe she needs a few different like coaching staff, I think, just to help her over this serving problem, the forehand problem.
She lost to a good player. She didn't play well.
It's the manner of it.
But she lost to a good player. So I think we move on and just say it was a loss which Coco endured, but it's not going to define her career at all.
No.
Next person I want to speak about is this girl here, Qinwen Zheng.
Yes.
What a year she's having. Fantastic season. Even from Australia up till now, she's not had any blips along the road. Everyone who went deep at the Olympics has suffered, men and women. She hasn't, however.
Yeah.
And she's looking really good. So she's moving to 15-3 for the year so far in such matches, which is, what matches are they? Win percentage in free setters in 2024. What do you mean? They're all free setters, our matches.
Nah, but it means matches that go to 3.
Okay.
Come on.
Understood. So when she goes to 3, she's 15-3 for the year.
Yes.
So she's someone who does very well in that final set. She closes out the matches well, and she's got good stamina to be able to do that. She beat Vekic, which is a repeat of the Olympic final. Vekic was unable to get revenge. It was a close match between the two of them. First set, I believe, was tie-break. Is that right?
First set.
Yeah, tie-break, and then sort of coming to her own in the third. And she looks really good as it goes on. A little bit like Leylah Fernandez when she had her US Open run a few years ago. There was always going to 3 sets, and she looked very good towards the end of them sets. And I see some similarities with Qinwen Zheng. The difference is Zheng's a lot more powerful. She's got a bigger serve and got more weapons than what Leylah Fernandez does. Can she go on and win this event?
Well,
we'll have to wait and see.
That's the big thing, isn't it? She's only 21 years old as well. We've got to remember that. A real bright future. And talking about finishing strong, considering they're finishing their match at, I believe it's the latest ever finish for a women's match at the US Open, 2:14 a.m. So It beat the last record by 1 minute, which was Sakari versus Andreescu in 2021 in round 4. And we've got obviously sarcasm here from the Tennis One app saying, super healthy for our sport to have athletes compete into the middle of the night. Totally ideal, with 5 thumbs up there. Yeah, it's still not a good look. This is getting a lot of coverage throughout this tournament. Late finishes, but I'm impressed. But does this? Yeah, obviously it's about the money. But does this not provide something? You can look at this in 2 ways. Does this not provide like a sort of an extra element to how strong a player you are? And if you can play at that time at night and still get a victory, it shows that you're mentally strong, physically strong, and well, Kim Min-jae's just proven more and more now, I'm not fatigued from the Olympics. I can play until 2:14 in the morning. It's insane.
Yeah. I think sometimes it might even help the younger players. Do you know what I mean? Like when I was 21, it was a lot. I think I would have probably performed at 2 in the morning better than what I would do now.
Yeah.
And you're a bit older than me still, so you know the later nights become a little bit more challenging as you get older. But
yeah, it's like nodding off in front of the telly. Yeah.
I think Djokovic, he seems to be able to do just okay. So he defeats any kind of claim for that.
That's right. Yeah, moving on, sticking with the women's, we will go on to the men's afterwards. Let us know your thoughts about the late finishes and about Coco Gauff's loss in the comments section as well. Let's talk about Sabalenka next, and she defeated Elise Mertens. I wonder who called that. Probably everybody. But yeah, Sabalenka, fairly simple victory, I think. It wasn't ever in doubt. It was 6-2, 6-4 against Mertens. And the number 10, Sabalenka has reached her 10th career women's singles quarterfinal at Grand Slam events since the start of the 2020 season. And Sabalenka has also become the first player to reach 10-plus women's singles quarterfinals. So very dominant, brilliant.
Yeah, you can see the list. She's beaten Iga, Jabeur, Gauff, and Rybakina. Someone who has regularly gone very deep in the slams.
Yep.
The difference between her and Iga is Iga, when she goes deep, closes them out. Sabalenka doesn't. She's got the ability to lose semi-finals, quarter-finals, semis,
like an Ons Jabeur.
Finals. Same with Ons Jabeur as well.
Yep.
Whereas Iga, I think she's got that killer instinct historically where she closes them out. The difference this event is that Sabalenka looks a lot better than Iga. She is the favourite for everyone. Most people have picked her. I think only Feliciano Lopez went for Iga on the Sky Sports panel.
Yeah.
He may still be right because Iga is in the draw. But Saba's so good, and the power she possesses is just insane. She was asked after the match about her forehand speeds and the fact that everyone was going ooh and ah every time she's hitting the ball in the crowd. And she said, I saw my stats on the forehand and I can't believe it's that fast. It felt even kind of uncomfortable being at the top, hitting harder than the guys. And it's a really interesting stat. For those who don't know, it is faster than Djokovic, Alcaraz and Sinner, her forehand this tournament. Just insane. The power she possesses.
It's brilliant.
Begs the question, like, she is her own worst enemy in terms of she's the only person who can beat herself.
Yeah.
Like, when you hit that hard, no one else can beat you, let's be honest. On the women's tour, she's thundering forehands and serves down at that speed. As long as she finds the court, she's going to win every match she plays.
Yeah.
Is she going to find the court enough? Is she going to be able to produce that power in big moments? That's up to her to do, but she's definitely got the ability, and no one can match her.
Definitely not. You've sent over this one just relating to Paula Badoza. Obviously, she went through in straight sets.
Good friends of Saba as well.
That's right, yeah. Good friends with a lot of the women on the tour as well. I noticed every time that she's pitted up against somebody, she's always like, oh, I'm great friends with them. That's great to see, though. She's a really...
Not Krajcikova. I think they don't go.
She's a bit of a prickly one, I think, Krajcikova. But yeah, so she was down to 140 in the rankings back in May and dreamed of returning to the top 60 by the end of 2024. With this result, she is very tentatively projected to return to the top 20. One more win would surely guarantee it. And it's fantastic to see somebody who is... She should be there, really. She's got that level of skill, hasn't she, Badoza, where... it was disappointing to see her so far down the rankings, and now she's got herself a matchup in the quarterfinals with Emma Navarro. What a matchup that is, and Winnable still, I think, despite Navarro playing so well.
It is winnable, but I think Navarro will be favourite, rightly so.
Yeah.
Badoza I had in the top 10 last year. I think I've come a little bit too soon again here.
A little bit.
You just know Osaka's going to be top 10 next year, and I'm not going to pick it, but...
Maybe. We'll wait and see.
The Rafael Nadal one, I think that's always going to be a foul. That'll be the end of Rafa.
That's it.
But Badoza having a good season, all in all.
Yeah, definitely is. Let's move on to the men's, and Sasha Zverev still making his way through the tournament, and it's the end of the line, unfortunately, for Brandon Nakashima, but a fantastic tournament for him. I think a great showing, proven that he can mix it with some of the best players on the tour, but still the same result that when he played Zverev 4 years ago, I believe. But that's just credit to Zverev, how he gets them over the line in such impressive fashion. It took one set to work out Nakashima, a bit like a Djokovic, really, and then after that, it's plain sailing.
Zverev has a real good shot, like, to win this whole thing. Like, he's got a bit into the final, I think.
Yeah, I think he has to.
It would be a big disappointment if he doesn't.
Yep.
And great for Nakashima. The resurgence year, 2024.
Yeah.
We saw him come on the scene 2020, but now he's become back to what he was before that. So really good. The next person I want to talk about, and who I'm really excited to speak about, is
Francis?
Not Francis, actually. I am excited, but I would rather speak about Grigor Dimitrov.
Yeah, I mean,
because on the subject of resurgences, I think he is the king of them.
Yes,
he is in his 30s, and you could probably say this has been his best season ever to date. We know he's won big titles in the past. He won the Tour Finals, probably one of the biggest ones. But as a collective, from start to finish, I don't think he's produced as good a tennis as this. The big criticism of Grigor Dimitrov is he's a highlight reel player. He has great moments, great shots. He cannot last a duration of a tournament. He cannot definitely last the duration of a season or do consecutive good events. Now he just looks like every week he's a real good, solid tennis player. And another one who I'd love to see go and do really well here. He's on that section. I think who's he going to be playing? Is he going to be playing Zverev soon?
So he was playing Tiafoe next, potentially Zverev as a semi-final. I mean, it's a tough one.
That bottom is really shaping up nicely. We'll give some predictions to that at the end.
Is that Dimitrov's bottom or the draw?
Well, steady on, Ben.
I want to talk about the actual match, though, against Andrei Rublev, because this match...
You're not going to talk about the prediction I got right?
Well, you got him going through, which was great. You didn't get the right sets, but that's...
Did you get that?
No, I didn't. I had Rublev going through, but... I thought it was.
You got it wrong.
I thought I did get it wrong, but we'll go to the other one you got wrong in a minute if you want. If we go to this match though, and the way it played out, I thought the first two sets, Dimitrov was so good. I mean, everything was working for him. The backhand, when the backhand's going well, Grigor, he looks unbeatable. Yeah. But then it got to the third set, and it's like Rublev started to get better, but Dimitrov just faded away. I just thought, I texted you at 2 sets all, and I said, surely it's only going one way now, this fifth set, because it looks like Dimitrov, he's lost all belief in his backhand. He's lost belief in what it looks like, the good tennis he was playing. I don't know how he turned it around. He suddenly came back to life in the fifth set again, and the backhand, I think he looked to his box, and his box just sort of said to him, just go for it. Like, you can't leave this in the hands of Andrei Rublev each rally. And he actually started just attacking with his backhand again, and it was brilliant. Like, some of the winners down the line, he just let everything go. I think that was the key thing for Dimitrov. If he's tentative and he starts thinking about the win, he starts losing. But when he just thought, oh, well, I've got nothing to lose now, boom, he just started letting it loose. Absolutely fantastic. But like he says here, there's no secret. No secret, no shortcuts either. Let me tell you that much, even if I've tried. I don't know. I think consistency over the course of one's career, the one thing is that I never quit. I never stopped working, never stopped believing. Of course, I had doubtful moments, so many levels. But once you win one of those little battles with yourself, it kind of propels you to do something better, to be aware of the opportunities that come around. Yeah, I totally agree with, and that showed in this match. He started to get the belief back, and then he was the better player again.
Yeah, he doesn't look at his age. He just keeps playing, doing what he can do.
Amazing
His body's
movement.
holding up.
What movement as well. That was the one takeaway from yesterday. Fifth set, he was still moving as well as he was moving in the first set. And I know we talk about Djokovic moving well on the tennis court into his 30s. Dimitrov, I mean, to the net and side to side, brilliant slice, brilliant forehand, backhand. Got the lot, just needs to keep it together upstairs.
Well, he's got 4 years on Novak Djokovic. He's 33 years old. And an interesting thing here, you can see by the live rankings, he is currently in 9th. If he is to win the US Open, he will leapfrog Novak Djokovic and go above him into 4th just by 5 points. Grigor having a fantastic season from start to finish, and it's only going to help him with the race as well because he's in contention to qualify for that race. Every point he gets is so valuable.
Yes.
And he's in 10th at the moment.
Wow.
So another win or something. You've got a lot of players in there as well. You've got Dimitrov, Fritz, Dimitrov, Paul. What we'll do, we will do a video maybe dedicated just to the race and an update because I think people will be fascinated to see, especially knowing that Djokovic has the ability to miss out of the tour finals. I can't remember 8 tour finals without any of the big three, but it looks possible this year.
Yeah, it really does. And somebody else who might be trying to knock on the door as well is Francis Tiafoe.
Yeah. He's in 16th, just behind Runa, Musetti, Hurkacz and Tsitsipas.
Exactly. And Francis Tiafoe, I mean, he is like prime time. They may as well start calling him the highlight, I think, of New York because he just comes to life there. It's so exciting when Francis Tiafoe's on a tennis court. And he knocked out Poprin. I'm a bit sad to see Poprin go out, but the right guy won.
We got carried away, didn't we? We interviewed him. We thought he was going to win the whole thing. We thought he was going to be the best player in the world. We got carried away, but he is a fantastic player. He's having a great few months, definitely winning that Masters event in Canada. Poprin will be back. Tiafoe, though, he peaks at the US Open.
Yes.
Been one of the best players at the US Open.
Yeah.
Aside from Alcaraz in the last few years. And it's his 3rd consecutive US Open quarter-final. He's 19-4 in New York since 2020. He's got the swagger back, and that's when he's most dangerous, as Damien says, especially on the biggest court in the world, on home soil. His play style as well kind of requires him to be exploding with self-belief.
Yes.
The crowd are all getting up for it. He did reach out to someone in the crowd, some actor, I don't know who he was, Tony Goldwyn, but apologies if I don't know who he is. You don't really know either.
No.
I do recognise the face, seeing him. I know he's been in a lot of big movies. Tiafoe was a big fan, and he just gave him a shout-out, which was quite nice after Chris Eubanks was wrapping up the interview.
Yeah, Chris Eubanks again. I think it's one of the only times you've seen somebody playing in a tournament, and now they've swapped to interviewing for the tournament. But he just grabbed the mic off of him and just said, "Hold on, sorry. Tony Goldwyn was in the crowd tonight. I'm a huge fan of you, bro. Me and my girl used to watch Scandal all the time. I'm a huge fan." And then it cuts to him at the top there, just loving it, getting the shout out there in the crowd. Maybe he wanted to be like a little bit more inconspicuous and wanted to not be seen in the stands, but he got pointed out by Tiafoe, so it probably was a bit of a struggle getting out of the stadium after that, I would have thought, for him. But I'm sure he loved the shout out. Great when you've got somebody who's obviously he's probably a big fan of Francis Tiafoe as well. He was there enjoying the night and a big smile on his face there. I mean, if you don't know who he is, now you do.
The last match we've not really spoke about is Casper Ruud, Taylor Fritz. And Taylor Fritz did the business. I'm surprised I got it wrong. I put my hands up. I thought Casper Ruud was going to surprise some people. But Fritz turned up and he was zoned in to this one. Morgan Riddle was having the time of her life, and we get the big battle between Fritz and Zverev, where Morgan Riddle did the famous, was it a little TikTok or Instagram? I think it might be an Instagram reel, saying how she's done it for the girlies, beating Sasha Zverev. Obviously, I don't think she's going to do anything like that again because she could get in some legal problems.
Get some Vegemite in the face.
There's a lot of legal stuff going on at the moment, as you know, with Ben Rothenberg as well regarding Sasha Zverev.
He's got like a GoFundMe going, doesn't he, at the moment?
Yeah, and Game to Love prefer not to comment. That's our legal saying. We refrain from any comment.
No comment.
Altogether.
This match, though, let's talk about what actually happened. I think this showed maturity from Taylor Fritz in this match. He was the second best player on court for the first 2 sets of this, but somehow found himself at 1-set-all come the end of the second set. That was the brilliant takeaway. Mature Taylor Fritz finds a way to win, and the last 2 sets, it didn't look like it was going to go any other way. He completely beat down Casper Ruud. The serve was looking fantastic, and I think if you're a fan of full-on tennis rallies, then maybe Fritz and Zverev is not for you. Maybe pick a different day to go and watch a quarterfinal, because I think that one, we're not going to get too many rallies. I think it's going to be a bit of a serve-off between the 2 serve bots, Fritz and Zverev. I think it might be a battle as well between those two of who has the more solid baseline rally. Because they're going to win their service games. If they get locked in a rally, I think Zverev is so consistent on his backhand. Taylor Fritz is pretty good. I would give the edge to Zverev, though, backhand-wise, so that we may see some cross-court backhand rallies, and that may be where the damage is done by Sasha Zverev.
Okay, let's end with our quarter-final predictions for the round of 16. I beat Ben on both the men's and the women's. He doesn't want to confirm it because we don't have the stat sheet yet, but I'm pretty sure that was the case.
Yeah, so are we predicting the bottom half of the draw now? Okay.
Yeah, so just the bottom half of the quarterfinals. And the first matchup is Draper-Mahatch.
No, that's round 4, so we've still got the other ones.
Apologies.
Yeah, so we've got just the quarterfinals on the bottom half.
Let's just do the... Sorry, you're right. Apologies. Let's do the quarterfinals for these. So, Zverev, Taylor Fritz.
For me, I'm going to go Zverev in 5.
I'm going to have Zverev in 4.
Both going for Zverev. And Dimitrov versus Tiafoe. I mean, the way it's going, I think probably Francis Tiafoe wins. I think in 4. Sorry.
Yeah, I also think Tiafoe in 4.
I think the crowd is just another level. He performs so well. If Dimitrov has a little bit of self-doubt, Tiafoe will capitalise on it. That's unfortunate for Dimitrov. But if Tiafoe just has to have a little off day, remember what all the players have been saying in this tournament, it only takes one little blip and then you're out. So he's still in with a chance, that's for sure. Let's have a look at the women's one, who is going to be playing.
So at the bottom we've got Qinwen Zheng Sabalenka, and then we've got Badoza Navarro.
Right, let me just bring those up so we can see them, just those ones on the screen. There we go. Okay, so go first. You can go first this time. Badoza Navarro.
I'm going to have Navarro in straight sets. I think the reason I say that is not because I don't think Badoza's that good. I just feel like if Navarro takes the first set, Badoza's head could drop. She might be pleased with how far she's got and not have that fight to come back into it, and Navarro will just clean it up.
Well, we did see a sort of a case of her starting really badly. I think it was in Cincinnati against Pegula, and she got battered for the first set, but did actually find her way back into it, eventually lost.
I think that's Pegula, though. I think Navarro will just finish her off.
I'm going to go for a little bit of an upset. I'm going to go for Badoza to win in 3 sets, and I think it'll be 3 close sets as well. It could be the longest match of the tournament. I think we could have 3 tie breaks in this one. Call me crazy. I don't know. I've just had a little bit of a weird epiphany there. And this is perhaps the tie of the quarterfinals. I think it will be, despite who's on the top half. Who you got for Qinwen Zheng Sabalenka?
It is a good match on paper, but I just think Saba's so strong, she's going to just beat her in straight sets. And I feel like that with everyone she's going to play. I have a feeling Saba just won't drop a set now.
I think she will drop a set, but I think it'll be 3. I think Saba in 3. Qinwen Zheng, she'll win the first set as well, and then the Olympics will finally catch up with her. She won't be able to run from side to side for that much longer. Saba through.
Okay, there we go. So that is our predictions for the quarterfinals. We've only got a little bit of it. We'll do a full video giving all of our predictions later on. You never know, we may even change some of them. I don't know if we should, because their matches are set for sure, but yeah. Let's wait and see. Thank you everyone for tuning in. If you haven't already, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and we'll see you tomorrow for more tennis action.
See you then.